G'day humans, what's good work? Chris Fundy here for another edition of Wrestling Aus Style, not joined by Fruity as Alex as he is very busy this time of year with family matters, so he sends his warmest holiday regards to you all. Yes, bit to touch on, we are doing this a bit later than I want to, however, that is good because I have seen Ring of Honor, so we can touch on that. But first, let's touch a bit on some Aussie news. Yeah, so news announced, Pro Wrestling League for their Super Show has less than 100 tickets announced, and then they went on to announce their first match, which is the Renegades of Women's Wrestling Champion Aisha will defend against Lana Cross and Pro Wrestling League's very own Little Mars. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Apologies if I am not. But yes, that coming from the Eaton's Hotel. Meanwhile, Rock and Roll Wrestling from the Caxton the same night has announced that they will have in action the former WWE NXT wrestler Zion Quinn, aka Daniel Vidot, who at one point was playing for the Broncos on Suncorp Stadium in the shadows of the Caxton. So that will be very interesting to see how those two nights go. As I close that little bit of information, that little tidbit, if you will. But yeah, that's about all there is, at least AEW related for that weekend. I suppose another thing related, maybe a small blessing that we won't be at Suncorp, as any Aussie sports lovers would have seen this past week, the Australian-India 5-day test match with 5 days of rain-affected play, with only one half-decent day being day 2. Yeah, just a little brief side note here. I would not like to be having tickets to Suncorp and have rain like it was on the 1st or the 5th day of play in an outdoor stadium. So we'll see how that goes closer to the event. More internationally, January 3rd, WWE SmackDown. The first SmackDown of the year will air on YouTube globally per a report from the Wrestling Observer, which was later confirmed from WWE. This being because the Netflix deal globally does not take effect until the first Raw of the year, which is on the 6th of January. I think it's the 7th here in Australia. So technically we get another WWE YouTube live stream show. Yeah, we can touch more on my thoughts there when we do talk Saturday night's main event. I did very briefly touch on the AEW Tony Storm re-debut. I've seen a lot of people give it high praise. I don't think those same people went out and watched Rampage, or maybe didn't watch Collision last week. It's fine in a vacuum, and I don't want to be too tall poppy with it, but could you imagine Roman Reigns returns, big SmackDown, stare down with Cody for the belt, and then he's on WWE Speed facing some local wrestler, and then on WWE Main Event TV beating up someone who's not very high on the main show's rotation of people on TV, shall we say. Yeah, those were kind of the vibes I was getting from this Tony Storm. All of a sudden, 24 hours notice, you're going to face Harley Cameron on Rampage, and then you're going to face Shazza McKenzie on Collision. Both of which, fine in a vacuum, like I said. I just don't think that's the best way to re-debut Tony Storm. Juice Robinson, injured, out of the C2, his replacement, Commander. Okay, Commander, good replacement, sure, fair enough. Don't understand why we're not putting one of the ass boys the guns in this tournament instead, but sure, whatever. Now, this was a question for Alex, but unfortunately, with events earlier in the week, we missed our normal recording day, and now Alex is busy. Danny on TikTok asks, in our opinion, where was Buddy Matthews used better, WWE or AEW? I think personally, AEW. Like, Buddy had one really great moment in WWE, that being the whole lead up to Buddy in the Cruiserweight division, cutting weight, getting to Super Showdown, the moment at Super Showdown. But other than that, can you name anything really memorable about Buddy in WWE? The NXT stuff with Wesley Blake as the Dubstep Cowboys, and then with Alexa Bliss, and then main roster, and he was teaming with Seth as the disciple to the Monday Night Messiah, and then he was fighting Rey Mysterio's family, and then he was dating Rey Mysterio's daughter, ? Yeah, no. Where did Buddy have his best moment? That'd be WWE, that'd be Super Showdown. Where has Buddy been used better? AEW. Buddy is featured a lot more as a wrestler, and his ability for his style of wrestling suits the AEW format a lot better, in my own humble opinion. Alrighty, let's get to some matches. TNA Final Destination. Yes, I did watch. Give me a second here as I bring open this tab with my results. Live, Atlanta, Georgia, Center Stage. Yes, this is where the initial tapings for NWA Power took place. Okay, kick things off. I'm not watching pre-shows anymore, and that is improving my enjoyment of a lot of these shows. X Division match of Moose defending against Kushida. I thought, hell of a match here. Goes about 10 minutes, and Moose getting the win. I thought you could have gone Kushida, but some news coming out post-match about Kushida might be finished with TNA makes me realise why the result went this way. Three-way tag team match of the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz defeat the team of PCO and Sami Callihan and their opponents, Jake Something, who has no tag team partner and he's going to do it himself. Fun little three-way tag team match to show off the rest of your tag team division here in TNA. Ace Austin has a very good showing as a singles competitor against Trent Seven. This sort of building up that Trent Seven is being disrespectful to Chris Bay as he's out injured at the moment. Following that was Jordan Grace versus Rosemary. Goes 11 minutes 13. And then we have the run-in to end in a no contest. And yes, she's back. Former TNA World Champion Tessa Blanchard. We'll get there in a moment. The TNA World No. 1 Contendership 4-way match of Josh Alexander, Mike Santana, Steve Macklin, and Joe Hendry. And Alex said, as I was previewing the card with him last week, give it to Santana. The ship has sailed on Henry, and watching this pay-per-view back, it kind of has. You should have given this to Santana, but no, we are going to Joe Hendry. Knockouts World Title match is next in Falls Count Anywhere. Macha Slamovich versus Tasha Steelz, going 12:36 here. I thought the women could have had a little bit more time if we were doing that run-in to shave it off the Jordan Grace Rosemary match. But they did pretty good with the time they had. 12 minutes here, and Marsha retains. Co-main event of the evening was a TNA Tag Team Championship match. The System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, with Alicia Edwards accompanying them. I don't remember if she stayed ringside the whole match or if she just sort of accompanied them during their entrance. taking on defending champs, the Hardys, Jeff and Matt, who can only be used good together in one company, and for some reason that's TNA. This being a tables match is good because it helps the Hardys because they're old. Going 16, nearly 17 man's here, 16:52. I thought this was a pretty fun match. I will say the fucking idiot fan in the front row, you can go and get fucked. Okay, I'm sure most people have seen the clip going around online. He's leaning over the guardrail with his drink hanging over the ring side of the guardrail, so Eddie Edwards slaps it, and the fan takes offense to this and slaps Eddie Edwards in the face. Not that hard, but then Eddie Edwards just is like, well, fuck this guy, slaps him in the face. Then 2 TNA referees get between Edwards and this fan, and pointing out for security to come grab this fan and eject him, and all reports are he got ejected and handed over to the police upon exit of the building. Yeah, and then Eddie Edwards goes into the camera. We're all just having fun here. Yeah. If you go to a show, do not put your hands on the wrestlers unless they are reaching out for like high fives or something. That is the only time you need to do that. This goddamn idiot. Yeah, fine tables match here. Ends up with brawling in the crowd after they ejected this idiot. And the Hardys end up winning. Your main event of this TNA Plus special, I guess, TNA pay-per-view back in the day. It is, in your main event of Final Resolution, Nick Nemeth, the defending world champion, taking on AJ Francis. Going 15-14 with Eric Young, guest commentator. This was pretty much a nothing happening main event, and by God, did it just feel like nothing happening at the end here. Nick Nemeth retains. Woohoo. We move on to January and Nick Nemeth versus Joe Hendry. Because in the post-match, Joe Hendry comes down and saves Nick Nemeth from a post-match beatdown. Okay, sure. Also, one thing here. When you log in to watch a TNA pay-per-view, if you're not watching live, it's like, January poster with our January main event front and center as you are logging into our service. Can we not do that, TNA? Can we cut down on the spoilers as I log in to watch your fine service? Tess Blanchard being back. Apparently she mended the bridges of a lot of the women who she wronged, apparently, and this is dirt sheet gossip, which I don't really take with a grain of salt. Apparently Jordan Grace was rumoured to not be happy to be working with Tessa upon her return. Here's the thing, Tessa is a really talented wrestler. And everyone does deserve a second chance and a chance to change and improve themselves and yada yada yada. Time will tell, but I don't have high hopes. I'll put it that way. I do not have high hopes. 3-2-1 for matches of the night. It was kind of slim pickings on this pay-per-view for matches of the night for me anyway. 3, I will say, Hardys versus the System tables match. 2, Masha Slamovich and Tasha Steelz, and 3, so 1.2 the Hardys, 2 points to Masha Slamovich versus Tasha Steelz, and 3 points to Moose versus Kushida for the X Division title. How many beers? I'm going to say 3 for TNA. Sort of middle of the road, pay-per-view, special, premium live event, digital, network exclusive, whatever you want to call these things nowadays. Don't come Monday. Pretty sure most people know where this is going. Yeah, test it. Actually, normally I would say Tessa Blanchard, but it's actually that fan in the front row. Go fuck yourself. Alright, so that wraps up a final destination for TNA. What about WWE Saturday night's main event? Coming to you live in 80s vision. Okay, I did like... Okay. Full transparency here. I am watching this on YouTube and I've gone, well, I'm editing stuff for the channel on the channel's YouTube. I'll just watch on that one. 5-minute ad, and then has the opening portion and Joe Telegesian, Joe T last name, whatever his name is. I'm just having a night, humans. Pretty much says, welcome to Saturday night's main event. And then 5 more minutes of that. This thing was unwatchable unless you have YouTube Premium. And then it was still a bloody slog. And the timing of the ad breaks were pretty poor. The ad breaks themselves were just the graphic saying, we are in ad break. Yeah. I think they sort of half-assed the nostalgia because it sort of looks like the old entranceway, and then like the first person out for the first match and it's like their normal Tron. I'm just like, oh, okay. And it's like no one's really in retro attire. Like, you've dressed up the commentators and the ref and you've sort of done up the arena a little bit, but it's like none of the wrestlers are fully involved in this. It's sort of this weird jarring juxtaposition of, hey, here's some 80s nostalgia, but we're still gonna have pyro and LED boards around the ring and sponsors here and full LED, well, not full LED entrance, mini LED entrance like they use for the Rumble or some of the pay-per-views. Those gripes away. First match of the night was Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre here. And they talk up how Drew's never lost to Sami in one-on-one competition. This going about 10 minutes and Drew here getting the win, and it looks like we might be getting Drew going through everyone coming in towards the Rumble. Everyone sort of associated with that bloodline. WWE Women's World Title match of Liv Morgan, the defending champ, versus Io Sky. Again, goes about 10 minutes where Liv wins. This wasn't really that great of a TV match. Gunther, the defending world champion, against Damian Priest and Finn Balor in this never-ending Judgment Day orbit match. Wouldn't you guess it? Goes about 10 minutes, 11:10, and Gunther here retaining. Fine, paid by numbers. I'm done with Gunther challenging both these guys, though. Can we do something else? Match of the night, hands down. Chelsea Green versus Michin, WWE Women's United States Tournament Final for the inaugural champion, and goes 8 minutes 06. Chelsea here getting the win, and Piper Niven getting in the ring, putting her on her shoulder, and as Chelsea's sort of waving to the crowd, the pyro goes off. Main event here, Kevin Owens comes out, and he is challenging his good, close, personal friend, Cody Rhodes. And Cody comes out, and it's not Stardust, -5 stars. But he comes down, and he has the old title belt, and I didn't really enjoy this match. I think the one thing I really liked about this match, and the one thing I really remember about this whole match, was Jesse Ventura on commentary talking up, Kevin's right, just basically hammering home that point. We get to sort of the closing part of the match here. Kevin brings a chair into the ring, can't use it. Cody gets the upper hand, crossroads to Kevin on the chair, and Charles Robinson, who's on the outside, makes a count from the outside, which for some reason counts now, even though this isn't Falls counts anywhere. 12:03, Cody wins, we go off the air, everything's fine. Okay, sure, whatever. Yes, and I'm aware stuff happened on WWE social media. I don't care. I don't care. This was a waste of time. Other than Jesse Ventura and them crowning the first women's US champion, you'd be fine just skipping this. Totally unwatchable on YouTube without premium. A pain in the ass to just watch on YouTube. Come back. They're our legends ringside tonight, and you're just like, who are? And it's like already missed like two people. Of memory, there was Greg the Hammer Valentine, Coco Beware, and Jimmy Hart. Those are the three legends I remember ringside. If there was anyone else, I do not remember them being shown, at least on the YouTube portion, because it was like cutting in and out. This gets a 1. That 1 out of 6 is heavily carried by Jesse Ventura, and the fact it is going to be historically remembered as the first women's US championship match. There is no 3-2-1 here. It is just match the night that I think you should go and check, because Kevin and Cody we saw a few months ago. Gunther's not leaving this Judgment Day orbit. Liv Morgan and Io Sky was not as good as a lot of people thought. Just for the sheer historical fact of Big Chelsea Green and Meechin, and even then it's not blow away, knockout great. Don't come Monday, WWE's social media team, like, put this stuff on your pay-per-view or your TV special or whatever. Apparently Cody beat up Kevin or something. Guys, I do not watch WWE Speed. I do not care. Alright. New Japan Strong Style Evolved. Coming to you from Lot Pyramid, Long Beach, California. Show kicked off with Mina Shirakawa defeating Johnny Robbie. Following that was the New Japan Strong Tag Team Championships being defended by the Grizzled Young Veterans, the defending champs, against West Coast Wrecking Crew of Joel Nelson and Royce Isaacs. And this going 12:43 with West Coast Wrecking Crew winning the Strong Tag Team titles. Former members of Team Filthy, who were running roughshod over New Japan Strong in the early days, finally get their tag team gold. 4-way match here, which is a showcase of the junior heavyweights here. Kushida, Fujita, Clark Connors, and TJP, and your winner out of this 4-way match is TJP. Hechicero and Leo Rush had a fun, or what I'd call like an AEW exhibition match on this show. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen you on AEW. Oh yeah, I've seen you on AEW. It was a pretty fun match. Leo Rush worked really well with Hechicero. Like, run this back on AEW TV if you have time. Tag team match of Jacob Austin Young and Tempranillo. I'm going to mispronounce that a lot. The new members of United Empire, along with TJP accompanying them, defeat Los Ingobernables de Japón, Hiromu, and Titan in 10:34 for the strong openweight title. Ryohei Oiwa challenged Gabe Kidd, and Gabe Kidd of Bullet Club War Dogs retains his title in about 15 minutes. Six-man tag here of TMDK, Badu Tito, Shane Haste, and Zack Sabre Jr. take on the team of Dirty Work, Fred Rosser and Tom Lawler, along with their tag team partner for tonight, Shota Umino. Yes, getting a bit of a preview here before the Tokyo Dome with Zack Sabre and Shota Umino in action against one another. It's a fine Long Beach New Japan match. Tag team match of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Shingo Takagi and Yota Tsuji taking on the team of Konosuke Takeshita and the Scapegoat, Jack Perry. This match maybe went a bit too long for my tastes, 17:44. Fine match, I thought, mostly going to be remembered for the post-match of the Young Bucks return and help save Jack Perry. Did not expect the Young Bucks to return, but here we are. More on their situation within New Japan and the titles after the injury there to the former champions in a moment. And your main event, New Japan Strong Women's Champion Mercedes Moné defends against Hazuki, going 26-36. Yeah, this was match of the night, hands down. This was kind of a one-match card on paper. And Mercedes retains, still double champ. And in the post-match, out comes Mina. Mina's carrying her Rev Pro British Undisputed Women's Championship. And she sort of says, well, Mercedes, I want a match for the Tokyo Dome. Mercedes says, okay, Wrestle Dynasty. So it's going to be Mercedes defending the New Japan Strong title against Mina, who's going to defend the British title if she still has it by the time the Dome happens. This was kind of another happening show as well. Lots of good wrestling. New Japan didn't charge for it this time, like they have been in the past with their New Japan of America, New Japan Strong shows. I'm going to say a solid 3. It didn't feel like a huge waste of my time with the amount of good wrestling that was on here, but it didn't feel like there was a heap to write home about either. Like, 3-1. 1 point to the 4-way junior heavyweight exhibition match. I said TJP, Clark Connors, Chaos gave Fujita and Kushida. 2 points to Hechicero, Leo Rush. I think that match will be highly probably skipped over by a lot of people. And my match of the night, yes, my match of the night, if Alex is wrestling, he will be shocked. Mercedes Moné against Hazuki. Don't come Monday, sure, give it to Scapegoat, just because I'll make Alex happy. Even though I have been really enjoying Scapegoat's working in New Japan Strong and AEW. Alright, Ring of Honor, Supercard of... No, it's not Supercard, it's a Final Battle that happened today, as I am recording, from New York City Hammerstein Ballroom. Show kicked off with Atlantis Jr. taking on Mansoor, who had Mason Madden in his corner. Sort of fun, nothing really happening match. Goes 12 minutes though. And in the closing stages here, Danhausen returns. And with the teeth to Mason, and leaves with Atlantis Jr. to make the fans happy after the first match. I'd like to see Danhausen back, but it's just like, land of misfit toys. Where the hell do you place him in this division? Him and Lance Jr. would make for quite the interesting pair. Following that was Katsuyori Shibata, who challenges Tommy Billington, the nephew of the late Tom Billington Dynamite Kid. This pretty good matchup, going 950. I thought they might have given Tommy the win here, but is he signed anywhere? He is signed to AEW. That's sort of a weird thing. Like, you look at Shibata a lot on paper, and it's like, Shibata could put over this person. Shibata could help build this young person. And they're sort of telling the story there of these men have connections through New Japan because Billington's uncle wrestled in New Japan, and Shibata was in New Japan for so long, and Shibata's father was a referee when Billington's uncle was in New Japan. I get what they were trying to do on paper. It's another case of Ring of Honor just being like, oh shit, we've got a pay-per-view in 24 hours. Quick, go get me my roster and just let me go. Here, you and you, you and you, you and you. Because we were discussing this the other week too. It felt like there was only 3 matches announced. Third match on the card. It is QT Marshall in his, shall we say, New World Order inspired Macho Madness outfit, taking on, well, he's not Jay Lethal, he is Black Machismo, with Karen Jarrett and Sanjay Dutt ringside. If you enjoy Jay Lethal playing Black Machismo, this is the match for you. I thought this was fun. Probably could have gone on the pre-show match. But it's sort of like, oh, this is actually on the pay-per-view proper. Other than that, fun match on no week's build. Your Women's World Television Championship is one of the first titles defended this evening, as Red Velvet, who gets a live musical entrance, is defending her title against Layla Hirsch. Commentary really talking up Layla Hirsch, saying she's wearing special gear tonight to honour her heritage of being from Russia, and she was an orphan and brought to the United States, and her parents knew she was different, but they loved her very much, and sort of talking up this big sob story. And Red Velvet still wins. And I don't know if the air was sort of let out of the building a little bit here, but for me, watching these back without knowing results ahead of time, this sort of felt like, oh, okay, I thought we were going with Layla Hirsch, but sure, okay. And sort of felt like, okay, that's not where I saw that match going. Still, granted, women had a good match. I will not take that away from them at all. Following that was the Ring of Honor Pure Rules title match. Out first, Lee Moriarty, the defending champion, with Shane Taylor, his manager, in his corner. He is having an open challenge, so out next is the challenger. And before the challenger comes out, we get our judges, whom are Jerry Lynn, Rocky Romero, and Christopher Daniels. Yes. Alrighty. For our judges. But as they out there, we get music hits, and the crowd starts to go wild, because back in a building synonymous with Ring of Honor is Nigel McGuinness. He is answering Lee Moriarty's call for the Pure title. And before the match starts, Nigel McGuinness is like, let's play under classic Pure Rules stipulations. So 3 rope breaks if you get caught with closed fists. That's 1 rope break gets taken away from you. no time limit, no judges. So Shane Taylor's like, yeah, sure, okay, after a bit of back and forth between McGuinness and Moriarty. So Shane goes and sits in sort of the timekeeper's area. The judges all go to the back. And as McGuinness sort of weasels his way into getting Moriarty to burn his second rope break, Shane Taylor grabs the microphone and said, no, this isn't going to happen. I want a second referee out here to watch Nigel McGuinness. So we get, I think it was Posey in the ring and Paul Turner ringside. So we now have 2 referees under classic pure rules. They did a good job. Bobby Cruz did announce all the rules before the start of the match, so that was good for the crowd in attendance. I thought this was probably a really good match, and once I saw who the surprise was, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to do wonders for Lee Moriarty, as he retains in 1705, pinning Nigel with the use of his foot on the rope to stop Nigel being able to reach the ropes to sort of slide himself out of the ring after using all his rope breaks. Brilliant. From there, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships will be defended in a double bull rope match. The Sons of Texas, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Dustin not doing double duty here, I don't believe. You know what? I'm going to just check the pre-show just to be sure. Tag, singles, tag. No. Okay, he did not pull double duty. Also, why the Kingdom on the Ring of Honor pre-show when they're supposed to be involved in this Adam Cole, MJF, Devil, not Devil storyline thing? Yeah, it's still so stupid. Alright, where was I? Yes, Dustin Rhodes, bull rope match. Dustin Rhodes and his tag team partner Sammy Guevara defending the tag team championships against the Righteous. Dutch and Vincent, the Righteous, my boys, get in. This, I think, for any fans who were wanting levels of violence of Briscoe's FTR, your expectations were beyond what they should have been. This was a pretty good bull rope match. I will give them that. I'm not normally a fan of like one man escapes the bull rope and the other man sort of tied up for a lot of the match. I thought they played well with the tools they had. However, I feel this was the wrong decision. And the Righteous lose. Dustin and Sammy are still your champions, and in the post-match, I think it's Katamura and Sho of New Japan's House of Torture make a challenge for Wrestle Dynasty. So, cool, we get to see Dustin and Sammy go over to Wrestle Dynasty for that match. Okay, sure, whatever. Like, you're telling me the Righteous against someone like Toru Yano and Ryosuke Taguchi couldn't have been entertaining? Yeah, come on. I don't like how it's just like, Final Battle time, TV title, you can just be survival of the fittest. Yeah, I do not like that. So it is survival of the fittest with defending champion Brian Cage versus AR Fox versus Blake Christian versus Commander versus Mark Davis versus Willie Mack. Raise your hands if you forgot Willie Mack was signed to Ring of Honor AEW. Come on, there's no shame. Yeah, me too. Alright, so Cage eliminates Willie Mack, then he eliminates AR Fox, and then Mark Davis eliminates Brian Cage, and not even a minute later, Blake Christian jumps on Mark Davis and eliminates him at 17:02, and we are down to the final 2 men of Commander and Blake Christian, and it goes another 8 minutes here with and new TV champion Commander. I did not see this going Commander's way. I sort of saw this going one of two ways, that being either Brian Cage retains, or we're doing the whole Mark Davis is going to win the TV title. Not Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher is going to not win the Continental Classic, and that'll set up for Grand Slam Australia. But no, that's where we go. Sure. It'll be interesting to see what Commander does. Be interesting to see if he brings the belt out on... Well, I suppose the next few episodes of AEW are already pre-taped. So I'll be interested to see if he does bring the belt out from Worlds End onwards. Following that, probably the worst match of the night. Matt Cardona, the complete. The complete what? What is Matt Cardona the complete of? I was hoping to ask Alex this, but Alex is not here. It just says, the complete Matt Cardona. Not the Deathmatch King. Not the Indie God. The complete. No fucking idea what this is. He is taking on Chris Jericho along with Bad Apple, Brian Keefe in his corner. Their entrance took fucking forever. And it's that Frank Sinatra song, New York, New York. Good song. Just, mate, the entranceway to from the stage to the ring is not that huge in the Hammerstein. This match just... Anyone who's been... Okay, here's the problem. Jericho is a heel right now. Anyone who has been watching GCW to know Matt Cardona knows he's a heel right now. Anyone who, on that first promo Chris Jericho cut, who hasn't seen Matt Cardona since the last time Cody was in AEW, just went, oh, it's Zack Ryder. Why should I care? Or did not see the last time he was here when Cody was here. Would have just been like, oh, isn't that guy Zack Ryder? I gave so much time to this. So much TV time to this. And built up... Okay, I won't say they didn't build anything else up. The only other thing they really had built up was Red Velvet and Layla Hirsch. There was seeds of everything else, nothing announced. This match fucking sucked. Before the bell even rings, there's a chance of please retire to Chris Jericho. This match, like, I know people say, oh, what is it? Is it Batista and Big Show is the match that killed WWE ECW? Chris Jericho and Matt Cardona could possibly be the match that kills AEW ROH. Prove me wrong, children. Prove me wrong. I do not have a nice thing to say about this match, and I'm struggling to not just burn this match. This match just sucked. Credit to Cardona. He was working. Credit to Jericho. He was working. Credit to Keith. He was working. I don't know what they were doing. So, closing stage here, Keith's been taking out, and then Big Bill comes in and big kick to Cardona. And Jericho wins. Surprise, surprise. Yay, Jericho. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, GCW's got a big show coming up. We've just had a GCW guy here in the Hammerstone for AEW, well, Ring of Honor, but AEW essentially with how much they promote AEW during this whole pay-per-view. But no, instead of getting who I thought was going to make the run in and the save from the beatdown post-match. One, Ricky Starks, nowhere seen on this show. Doesn't help your PR issues. No, we get a returning Bandito. Don't get me wrong, Bandito's great. Bandito, former Ring of Honor World Champion. Bandito, take the title off Jericho. But, yeah, we get Bandito saving Matt Cardona, and the Bandito save, I don't know if he tweaked his knee or his ankle or something, getting into the ring. And then if he inadvertently low-blowed Big Bill, because Big Bill sort of looked pissed on like a drop kick that wasn't a drop kick, and walked out of the ring and looked quite pissed. Yeah, this was not good. Yeah. Not good. Not good. Main eventing the show, Athena defending Women's World Champion, coming out in her this month's aspired comic book outfit of Two-Face from the Batman series. Challenger Billy Starks coming out in Sumi Sakai's old ring attire, or aspired ring attire, I should say. Sumi being the first Women of Honor champion before the whole controversy surrounding that title being held up and abandoned. This got the crowd back, but I think the crowd was there at a point, and then we kept going, and then all of a sudden, Athena, O-Face, 1, 2, 3, still your forever champion, Athena. Okay, so just to divert a little bit, we've done this whole qualifiers for the Wrestle Dynasty Women's International 4-Way, where the winner of that gets the right to choose their title shot next year that they want. Where is Wrestle Dynasty? I think we've had 3 of the 4 women qualify, yeah. So from AEW, Willow qualified. Oh yeah, because in the post-match after she beat Jamie Hayter, what's her name? Showed back up. Julia Hart. Thank you. Athena qualified from Ring of Honor, and Verifone, apologies if I've completely butchered that, qualified from CMLL. Now, I'll get to some of the other matches here in a minute, because there is a lot announced for this and nothing for Australia. But my point being, I thought, already knowing Athena's won her way through this, that also involved Red Velvet and Billy Starks and Layla Hirsch. At least I believe it was Layla Hirsch. She won her way through this qualifier, is my point. I thought, okay, well, Billy's going to win tonight, and Athena will probably win at Wrestle Dynasty, and that'll set up their rematch. But no, Athena wins again. Yeah, I honestly do not know where you go from here. Ring of Honor. Oh, Stardom's doing a heap of qualifying matches. Ring of Honor had, Billy Starks, Layla Hirsch, and Red Velvet. And Athena pinned Red Velvet. Oh, that's nice. Athena pinned the TV champion in that match. My point being here, before we get too bogged down in all of that, where was I? Final Battle. Who the hell is left for Athena? Like, she's cleaned out this division. So my point was, Athena loses this belt, goes to Wrestle Dynasty, gets her choice of champion. Everyone thinks she's going back to challenge Billy, but goes to AEW. Because who's current AEW champion is Mariah May. Then if you are doing the thing with Tony Storm, that'd be February. Then you've got Athena lurking in the wings coming into Revolution, which is March. Ring of Honor. I'm just having a quick look now to see who's in their women's division. Because it just feels like Athena's clean through the goddamn entire division at this point. Take nothing away from her, but, like, that's what it feels like. Like, the only other person I feel like is, oh God, what's her name? Mercedes Martinez? Has she come back yet? Matches. Oh, she wrestled over in Perth. She wrestled for New Horizons Pro Wrestling end of November this year. Bunch of indies. Is she not with AEW anymore? No, she is. She's just out doing indies. Where are we? Women's division. She's bet Billy. Okay, I got the list in front of me now. She's bet Billy. She's bet Trish and Dora. Has she bet Trish and Dora? Like, doesn't really sound like a massive match. Unless it was proving ground. Not for the title. The Renegade Twins are nope. Red Velvet, yep, she bet Red Velvet at Battle of the Belts this year. And she bet her on TV. Jesus, start this month. Queen Aminata or Rachel Ellering. I don't think so. Queen Aminata. There's Queen Aminata, she's beat. Death Before Dishonor. Rachel Ellering, she hasn't bet. Mercedes Martinez is on Indies. Marina Shafir's doing, well, other stuff on AEW. Death Rider stuff. Layla Hirsch is involved in the TV title picture, but she bet her last year. Lady Frost. No, hasn't been a championship match, maybe proving ground. Diamante, she beat, quite early on into her reign, I think it was. Yeah, Ring of Honor TV, number 23 in Hartford, Connecticut. Other than the Renegade Twins, that's everyone at least I can see listed on the Ring of Honor women's page. My point being, where next? Where next? Diana? You're not getting Roxy back. I mean, Diana would be a fair shout. But she's tied up with Ty Valkyrie doing things. Oh yeah, beating Shazza in a minute. What was that sequence after the Tree of Woe? Wherever it is. Tree of Woe. Tree of Woe spear into a gut-wrench powerbomb, and then the Fujiwara armbar and Shazza tapped. See, I like that sequence because no one really uses the Tree of Woe like that. Alright, Ring of Honor. Jeez. Yeah, I'm going to say 3. Middle of the road. Nothing really too offensive on here. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. So 1 point. Jay Lethal Black Machismo versus QT Marshall. Yeah, it's been 2 AEW pay-per-views where QT Marshall gets a point from me. 2 points I'm giving to Lee Moriarty and Nigel McGuinness. 3 points. Jeez, 3 points is actually hard now that I look at it. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that anymore. I will say 3 points to the bull rope match, despite the me not enjoying the finish that much. Sons of Texas against the Righteous. Don't Come Monday. Jericho. Does it even need to be asked at this point? Alrighty, well that kind of wraps up most of those things. Was there any other wrestling news? Oh yeah, SmackDown. SmackDown's going to be 3 hours starting next year. Zero interest in 3-hour Raws and 3-hour SmackDowns and 2-hour NXTs. That's 8 hours. No to all of that. Yeah, just no. Alright. I'll preview some of this stuff. God knows where any of this actually sits on the calendar. Okay, Wrestle Kingdom 19. Everyone loves Wrestle Kingdom. Really? Sort of. Same day Raw debuts on Netflix is the same day as New Year's Dash. And New Year's Evil is also a thing. Alrighty. Let's go. AEW World's End 2024. So far we have announced like the Continental Classic Finals. I'm going to need to bring that up on another page, aren't I? Give me a second here. Yeah, all this will probably be edited tomorrow because it's already midnight and I need to go to goddamn bed. Alright, hey. Oh, yeah. So, who's in the lead at this point? With how many matches to go? 1, 2, 2. They got 2, they got 1, they got... That's okay. Between 1 and 2 matches for each competitor remaining. Top of the Blue League is Kyle Fletcher on 9. Carter on 7. Shelton on 6. Briscoe on 6. Top of the Gold League is Darby Allin on 6, tying with Claudio, Ospreay, Ricochet, and Brody King. Commander is eliminated on 0, being an injury replacement for Juice Robinson. And the Beast Mortos has been eliminated from the Blue League on 0 points. Yeah. So, who do I think? So, if we say the current people go through, Fletcher would face Claudio, and Okada would face Darby Allin. So, Darby, Fletcher win, and Fletcher wins the whole thing. Okay, that's where I'm going with those. International title will be Konosuke Takeshita against Powerhouse Hobbs. Women's title will be Mariah May against Thunder Rosa in a Tijuana street fight. The Dynamite Diamond Ring match will be Adam Cole against MJF, who has the diamond ring. MJF does. And world title 4-way match of Mox versus Cassidy versus Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White. Yeah, I mean, should be fine. Nothing really there stands out to me as must watch live in between work and Christmas, New Year's. Yeah. We have then, following that, Noah's the New Year 2025. Of note, I think there was one big thing of note on here, if I remember. Yes, there is. Okay. That is not who I think it is it? It is. So, of note, we have singles match Shinsuke Nakamura against Yukai Sasaki. I think I've pronounced that right. My utmost apologies if I have not. And a singles match of Kenta versus Keno. That will be amazing. And my internet is crashing on me. Awesome. But yes, we have a WWE wrestler and a New Japan wrestler, both featured in special single matches on this card. That is coming. New Year Budokan on the 1st. Don't see anything else there. Like, from a non-Noah watcher, nothing there that really stands out to me. It should be interesting. Stardom New Year Dream, Tokyo 3rd. Tam Nakano against Yugani Sayaka in a singles match. Yeah, no championship matches announced for here, but stars Mayu Iwatani, Hazuki, and Kogoma against Neon Genesis, Azumi, Mina Saria, Mayu Asuka. Yeah, Chris has trouble pronouncing names. We all know that. Wrestle Kingdom 19 in Tokyo Dome. A lot of matches announced for this, as we are only a few weeks away. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match will see Intergalactic Jaxas, Kevin Nye, and Kushida defending champs against Catch 22, Franesco, Kira, and TJP versus Ichiban Sweet Boys, Koyosuke Fujita, and Robbie Eagles versus Bull Club War Dog members Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney. I say put the belts on Robbie Eagles and Fujita. IWGP Women's Championship, Mayu Iwatani, who is a hell of a wrestler, versus Azumi. Here's the problem with the IWGP Women's title. It sort of feels like a bit of an afterthought. And it shouldn't, but it does. Do you stay status quo with Mayu and do more this coming year? At least in the Australian summer, like January, February, or do you change tactics, go Azumi? It's also hard because I'm not fully up to date with Stardom at the moment. I'm going to lock in Azumi. New Japan television title 3-way match. Ren Narita, the defending champ, against Jeff Cobb and Ryohei Oiwa. I think this is where Oiwa gets his big win because he was trying for that also on that Strong Style Evolved that we talked about earlier. Lumberjack match to kick off the Aces retirement tour. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Evil. Tanahashi can afford to lose this match because it's evil and House of Torture rules. A double championship match because Tony Khan fucking loves double champions for some fucking reason. AEW International title and never openweight championship match. Shingo Takagi defending never openweight champion versus Konosuke Takeshita defending international champion in winner takes all. Far out. Do you put the Neville belt on Takeshita, or do you put the international belt on Shingo and have him come over a bit more in the early part of the year? Put the international belt on Shingo. A match that I am really looking forward to. Suzuki Gun Friends implode as Doki defending junior heavyweight champ will face El Desperado. Will we get Doki Choki, or will we get a little bit of Despy? Who knows? The true winner is the fans. IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, the new version of the former IC belt, the US, the UK, whatever other version belt you want to call it. David Finlay defending champ against Yota Tsuji. Put the belt on Tsuji. We're just going full young blood revolution here. Actually, if we're going full young blood, we shouldn't be putting the belt on Shingo. A special singles match of Tatsuya Naito versus Hiromu Takahashi. A match that Hiromu has wanted for years. And as Naito looks to probably be winding down because of injury and whatnot, finally gets. And I think Hiromu wins. I don't think Naito quite bows out, but might go on a bit of a break following Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Dynasty, New Year's Dash. And advertised main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match, Zack Sabre Jr. defending champion against Shota Umino. It does feel too soon to take the belt off Zack, but contract year perhaps. Put the belt on Shota. I say stuff it, put the belt on Shota and have him go full shooter Death Riders. That'd be cool. Actually, do we have any Death Riders coming over for Wrestle Dynasty? I don't think we do. Or at least not announced yet. So announced is going to be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-person Lucha Gauntlet style match. I did see this advertised online. I think it's just New Japan and CMLL talent for that one. The Women's International Cup 4-way match final, which we did mention just before. Athena representing Ring of Honor. Willow Nightingale representing AEW. Persephone representing CMLL. And a Stardom competitor to be announced. I mean, do you go Willow and Willow faces Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's title? Because Willow... Here's the problem. Willow's sort of already made. Because she has been champion on AEW before. Someone like a Blue Sky would be a good shout to beat Athena. Even though I don't think she needs it. Yeah, I don't know where that goes because they've got that stipulation in there. The winner gets a future championship opportunity. Championship match of their choosing. I can't remember if it was worded their choosing or their organisation / brand / company / group. You know, home promotion. Ring of Honor tag title, Sons of Texas, Dustin and Sammy Guevara defend against House of Torture, Sho and Katamaru. I highly doubt House of Torture is capturing the Ring of Honor tag titles. The next night, the Never Openweight title would be defended after the winner of I just said it, Shingo and Takeshita. The winner of that will face Tomohiro Ishii. IWGP Tag Team titles. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson will face United Empire members, the Great Khan, and a partner of his choosing as Old Hanare is injured, so they had to vacate the titles. Unfortunately, we wish a speedy recovery to one Hanare. Okay, for the New Japan Strong Women's title and the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's title, Mercedes Moné, the Strong Champion, will face Mina Shirakawa, the Rev Pro Champion. But by this point, Mercedes could be a free-time champion, which is good for Rev Pro and good for Mercedes going over to England. Although putting the strong belt on Mina, someone who can appear a lot more for New Japan Strong at the moment, would be better. A non-title match of... Wait, what? Non-title match? That's interesting. It's not the winner of the global title, Finlay versus Finlay or Yota Tsuji. It's just Finlay will face Brody King. Jack Perry will face Yota Tsuji. Ricochet will face Zack Sabre Jr., which on paper should be a fun match as long as Ricochet's in a good mood. Claudio Castagnoli will face Shota Umino. This is where I think we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago with Alex on the pod, and I said, yeah, it'll be interesting to see because of the whole Death Rider situation right now. That's why I'm saying, like, if you do have Shota, maybe Shota loses, and then they, like, because that's how they got Yuta into Blackpool Combat Club originally. Maybe they're going to induct him into Death Riders. Maybe that's just me fantasy booking, who knows. And singles match of Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. Yeah, that should be interesting. Of course, New Year's Dash, nothing ever gets announced until the event starts, which is always half the fun of it. Raw Netflix debut. So they are going to have the Women's Intercontinental Tournament final match. So thankfully, I do not have to watch Saturday night's main event number 2. Yeah, I am not watching any more Saturday night's main event after watching the one this past week. Jesus, no. Women's title match is announced of Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Tribal Combat is set for Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. And singles match of CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Taking place from the Inuit Dome with Mike Cole and Pat McAfee on commentary. Ooh, interesting. Alrighty. What was I just looking at? Raw. Actually, I can go down here. Okay. New Year's Evil. As I just look this up, I'm just trying to have a look at Champions of Raw to see this tournament. Current champs. Women's Intercontinental Championship gets decided on the first thing of SmackDown. So in the semi-finals is Dakota Kai taking on Zoe Stark. I mean, there was a natural story to tell there with Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez, but I guess not. And the other match is Lila Valkyria against Io Sky. Was supposed to be Kairi Sane, but she got attacked backstage. Okay, sure. Oh, Natalia's out. I didn't even click that until just then. Holy crap, Natalia is out. There you go. Okay, so Io Sky, Lila Valkyria. Well, Alex had picked Lila Valkyria as a dark horse to get all the way to the final, so that's probably what's going to happen there. Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark. Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark. Dakota's sort of screwed here because Valkyria goes through. They're probably going to want to put Zoe Stark in. Io goes through. They're going to want to put Zoe Stark in. So I think Dakota's gone as far as she can go, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong in that regards, but we'll find out. So, yeah. Alrighty. Let's get down to this. New Year's Evil, January 7th in Los Angeles, California. Matches, winners of the Owen Survivor Challenges. So Roxanne Perez will face Julia for the women's title, and Trick Williams will face Obafemi. does Roxanne go up to the main roster now and Julia wins? Or does Stephanie Vaca cost Julia and they split off into their own thing and Roxanne stays champion again somehow? Possibly. Trick, I think, should go up, put the belt on Obafemi for a little while. He can be your transitional champion, big monster, into bringing up a new little babyface to come up and kill him. But yeah, we shall be back. I'm just trying to have a look at my calendar now. So that's the first week of January. When is the Rumble slated for, actually? Oh, thanks, computer. Additional fans, Rumble. Has the Rumble not been any? Oh, there it is. February. 1st of February. That's odd. Jeez, that is late in the year. Yeah, it's not normally then. So we should be back sometime between the 11th and the 20th. Sometime between the 11th and the 25th to do a wrap of these few shows. Whatever I just mentioned. World's End, Noah. Maybe touch on Stardom if I can find some way to watch it. Wrestle Kingdom 19, Wrestle Dynasty, New Year's Dash, the Raw Netflix debut, and New Year's Evil. Maybe, I think the second SmackDown of the year might be the first 3-hour one, so maybe if there's something massive for that, we can watch that. But yeah, and then we'll be back to preview the Rumble, do the WASSIES, all the fun things from the year that was. But you humans know where all the good things are. You can go in the show notes, find all the stuff there. You can go follow Alex at FruityAsOaks. You can follow me at I am Chris Funder. You can go back and listen to the show on SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, or using the RSS feed found in the show notes below for your podcast choice, including Apple or YouTube. Nothing left to say but good day, and we'll speak to you next time. I cannot stress enough how much I hate WWE putting up random beatdowns on their social media and just being like, you just watched a 2-hour show where nothing happened and we put the most exciting 60 seconds up on social media.